Magandang buhay mga turista! Good morning everyone! On behalf of Hiraya Travel and Tour, I am Janine Cruz, or you can simply call me Janine, your tour guide for today. Beside me is our reliable driver, Kuya Harold. He is a licensed driver for more than 10 years. Say hi to Kuya Harold!
Hi!
Great! Now, we are going to tour you around Intramuros. Before we start our tour, let me tell you a few reminders and safety precautions so our tour would be hassle-free. Number 1. Always put your trash in the trash bin, or you may keep it in your bag if there are none around. Number 2. Never leave your things unattended to avoid unnecessary loss. Number 3. Do not forget our bus number, which is number 3. Number 4. Always observe buddy-buddy. Walk in pairs so no one will get lost. Number 5. I brought an emergency kit, so if you are hurt or wounded, please let us know immediately. Number 6. Some establishments don't allow food inside, so you may eat your snacks outside. Number 7. Enjoy the rest of the tour, as I want you all to have a wonderful memory here in the Philippines. And before we proceed, let me do a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, we are complete. Welcome to our first stop, Bahay Chinoy. Bahay is a Filipino word which means house, and Chinoy means Chinese Filipino. If combined, we get Chinese Filipino house. So Bahay Chinoy is a museum within Kaisa Angelo Heritage Center, a museum project to provide another venue for advocating patriotism to the Philippines and promoting cultural identity and understanding between the local Chinese and Filipino communities. As we enter the museum, we are introduced by a brief history of the early contacts between Chinese and the Filipinos prior to the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan, who discovered the Philippines. Let us further enter the hall, shall we? So here is a permanent exhibit showcasing dioramas or miniature models and life-size wax figurine tracing the history of the Philippine Chinese. As you may notice, the whole household shows Chinese-influenced furniture. It is so obvious that this is a Bahay Chinoy, right? So, before we leave the museum, we can sit down at the 3rd floor for a moment and watch the hologram of Chinoy talking about how the early Chinese integrated themselves into the Philippine society. Now, I want you all to experience the horse-drawn carriage, or kalesa as we call it in the Philippines. The earliest mode of transportation here. Is this your first time? Yes? Do not worry, because I rented some reliable cocheros that are accredited by the government, so we can rely our safety to them. You may take pictures during the ride while we are on the way to our last destination. May I get your attention, please? Great! Earlier, we went to a museum showcasing the life and household of a Chinese Filipino, and now I am glad and honored to introduce you to the replica of a Spanish colonial mansion which features the domestic life of the upper class in the Philippines. Filled with period furnitures and furnishing of Filipino, Chinese, and European origins, Casa Manila, a colonial lifestyle museum from the late 19th century Manila. So as you can see, the ground floors are made of adobe or volcanic tuff, which is the same material used to build the walls of Intramuros. In front of us is what we call saguan, where the carriage drop off passengers. The patio, which has a granite pavement and a fountain at the center. This is the caballeriza or stable where the carriage or garage. Please take note that we are not allowed to go beyond the red carpet to keep the mansion's hardwood floor scratch-free. The upper floor that serves as the living quarter are made of wood. Here naman, in the second floor is the entresuelo, the receiving area for tradesmen. Before and inside we will see the rooms. In the Philippines, it is called cuarto. The bathroom has two stoneware bathtubs, which are imported from the Ming Dynasty stoneware piece in China. So until here, we will notice the influence of the Chinese to the Filipinos. In front of us is the receiving area, or the sala. This room displays the finest furniture showing off the family's status. This wall in the dining where ceramic plates and porcelain, silver glassware are aligned is called comedor. The typical kitchen in the 19th century, also called cocina. These are just a few things we can see in the Filipino household, and there are a lot of amazing things to see in the Philippines. It is sad to say that this marks the end of our tour. If you have questions, clarifications, and suggestions, feel free to approach me. Did you learn a lot? Really? Thank you so much. On behalf of Uriah Travel and Tours, I would like to thank all of you for your participation. I hope you enjoy and have a safe trip back to the hotel. Before we leave, always remember, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and kill nothing but time. Again, this is Janine, and see you again on your future trips. Goodbye!